And the last thing before we wrap, because you know we got to do it. And Cam told you, Mace, they was on Ohio shit. So now we got to get to Ohio shit because Miami beat Ohio State 24-14 in the Cotton Bowl. So, Maurice, you were at the game. So, like, tell us about your experience, how it was. I mean,
they didn't invite me. So the trophy wasn't there. You can't get the Lombardi. You're not going to have the trophy if Mase is not involved. But go ahead, Mo. I'm out of it. Cam wanted me out of it. This is what happened when I'm out of it. I'm out of it.
No, it's all good. No, I'll tell you like this. The atmosphere of all the pregame stuff, Miami talking about they're going to get back. All that stuff was amazing, right? But at the end of the day, if you've seen the game, football at the end of the day, I don't care how many stars you got. I don't care how many star wide receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, linebackers, whatever. It starts and ends with the offensive line and the defensive line. And I underestimated, like I'm sure a lot of people did, Miami's defensive line. They really took advantage of just our offensive line. They dominated, and they dominated early and often. That's essentially what happened. And then from a defensive standpoint, back towards Miami, we didn't get pressure on the ball. And so at the end of the day, Miami started fast. So we struggled with Ruben Bain, and we struggled with the other kid, Mazadov, whatever his name is. I apologize if I messed it up, but that's where the game was won and lost. And it was like probably the second or third quarter that we started to gain some momentum. And then it was really before the fourth quarter where we got the penalty, the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, where we had got a penalty, and it seemed like things just stopped clicking for us. But we did the same thing that the Baltimore Ravens did. Our kicker went out and he missed a premier field goal in the Indiana game, and still with Miami, we missed another field goal here. But they won fair and square. But the coolest part at the end of the day, I tell you, just was a cool moment for me. I've never met Mike Irv in person, and so I didn't know how Mike was going to act after the game. But I went to go find Mike. It took me like 10 or 15 minutes because he's an entertaining dude, as y'all know, right? So he was walking around the stadium, but I had to go find Mike, and so to my surprise, it was just like good energy being around him. That was probably the coolest part for me, being around him. Then I ended up seeing Andre Johnson and Edgerrin James and dapped him up and congratulate him. But, went back to the locker room. And so just like I talked shit in peace and I did my thing, I lost in peace and said, hey, y'all beat us. I don't make excuses. I don't get into all that, how niggas be saying, if we would have played them 10 times, we would have beat them 9, all that shit. Like, we lost, nigga, accept it, get better, and move on. So, yeah, that's the camp I come from. It's just, no pun intended, but it is what it is. Get better, move on. So.
He said we'd have played them 10 times.
Yeah, that's how losers talk. Like, when I see, and I love these guys, I love these kids, but all that, like, if it would have been another day, another play, all right, nigga, we lost. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, accept the L and keep it moving, man. That's my mentality towards life.
Yeah. All I want to say is, Stat, are you ready to put some respect on Carson name now?
I mean, yes. I still feel how I felt.
Yeah.
I just look, a win is a win. That's all I care about. So if he's the one that's going to take us there, love that. But my thoughts still stand. They really do. But I'm happy.
That's all I
happy
wanted
for
to
us.
know.
I'm happy that we won. That's still consistent. Maurice, glad you and Mike got to meet up. That's super cool. And he does always bring good energy around him. When we went to the Miami game, people were just handing him their babies, and he's like holding up the babies like Simba and like. Love that. He's great to be around. But hilarious. But yeah, shout out Miami.
Hold on, let me tell you this before we go. I will say this. So it was after the game, and I was like, this is some wild shit. So Mike goes to one of our players. Mike pull out a wad of money, right? And so, after the game, he usually do the belt to ass thing. Yeah. And so I'm like conflicted. So I'm right by him. I'm like, yeah, Mike, you can do this, but I ain't about to be in the video. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mike got the belt on you.
Listen to me. So he said, Maurice, right? So, man, come over to me. He give me a hug. And we dapped up, right? And so he goes to our water boy. He go to our water boy. He trying to get the water boy some money for his shirt. And I'm looking at the water boy like, I know you ain't about to do this. I walked off like I said, come on, man, you can't sell your shirt. Like, I was salty about the laws, but I just felt conflicted about the water boy selling his shirt so Mike could do the thing. I was still salty about losing. So cool story, but I was like, damn, I can't really be in the video, Mike. I love you, but I gotta go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You said this one. I
Look, I
am
think
out.
I think y'all quarterback for us was too young. He got some time. Uh, Justin saying, I think he got Julian saying, that's
Julian
his
saying
name,
correct.
Julian. Yeah,
Yes,
Julian
sir.
saying he got some time and held on to the ball a little too long. But shout out to Miami, they won. I'm actually the only one on this show that lives in Miami. I'm in my house in Miami now,
Oh
actually, as we speak.
my
So
goodness. Well, you're not
I'm on the
doing that.
ocean. I
No.
can turn the camera to the ocean. I'm the only one that lives in Miami. I'm in Miami as we speak.
Please.
I'll be back in the studio
No.
tomorrow.
No.
Do you live in Miami, Stat? Let me ask you, Stat. Outside of your dorm, have you ever lived in Miami?
No. You know that.
Thank you.
So it doesn't matter. He's like, oh, what does that have to do with
Yo, bro,
your
if it was night
laws?
outside, I would show you the ocean. I live on the ocean, man. Like, I live
Man.
in Miami, man. Mace
Man.
lived in Miami. I can't even argue with
Yeah,
him about
yeah.
that.
My social security says Florida, man.
So do
Y'all,
Stat, but y'all never lived in Miami. Stat is crazy.
I've never
You
lived
never lived in
I
Miami?
never lived a lot. I didn't get my like first, like I was in college. No.
Oh my goodness! So you can't say that. You never had an address.
I did have an address. I had an address. I just didn't like I lived on campus because I was a student and I was a student living in Miami. That was not like that's not like normal things
That's
to
the
just be paying for a
university.
crib in
That's not
Miami
your
as
address.
a college student.
Okay.
Like what? Anyway,
So on your driver's license, it said the school address.
no, it's Florida. Like it's Florida.
Okay. But what address?
My home address.
Yeah, so it wasn't the dorm.
No, it wasn't the dorm. And
She's
everybody
trying to
knows.
say her address in Tampa.
Yeah, like it was my home address.
That's
Like
what
my-
I'm trying
my
to say.
parents'
She
house.
never lived there.
You, oh
see
my
it.
gosh! In the comments down below, let me know if you need to have the exact address to prove that you lived somewhere. Like I wasn't there for 4 years. What? Anyways, I just had to that because now it's like, oh, I live in Miami, like,
When the dorm closed, did
and
you
it was
stay
all
in Miami?
Ohio, everything, this and that, and now we,
When the dorm closed, did you stay in Miami?
I lived in Ohio too. I lived there. I wasn't just hanging out. I lived there.
I need to see people's
I lived
definitions.
I lived
of
in
living.
Park Hill. I lived in this shit called Park Hill, man. I was in Eastern, like I name spots, man. Club 69, I ran that, man. Like yo, Mo tell you
That's
like
that's
this
the real
run
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the real shit, man. Like yo, come on, man.
No, I'm not doubting you. I believe
It was
you.
around some
I
real
can't
dudes
name
here.
drop no streets in Ohio. That's why I'm like, yeah, y'all got it because I
Yeah,
know
listen,
I don't know.
I was in open locker.
Opalaka.
Yeah, I be open locker. Shout out to my man B. Shout out to Boom. I be open locker and all that dirt. Hen. I'm out here.
Period,
You
John.
ever been hanging out? You
listen.
ever hung out? You ever hung out open locker, Snack?
I have to get food.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm
But
in
I didn't
Miami.
live there. But that is real Miami.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Overtown, Open Locker, Carroll City, Hialeah. What's good, everybody? you was only down there in Coral Gables, Coconut Grove,
No,
going
I
to school.
lived in Coral Gables, but same way,
Yeah.
like you said, Overtown, Hialeah, Brickell, like I've been there. I didn't live there. I don't have to have a place of residence.
Brickell is mad commercial. All right.
That's fine.
Like, that's where the tourists move.
That's fine.
You like, you know what it is? Because my man shot. Yeah, I'm just saying. You know what it is? Because when people talk about Miami Heat or the Miami Dolphins, not you, Stat, people, yo, South Beach. They never mention the part of, I know people that live in Miami that never been to the beach. They don't come over, they say, I ain't going over to Bridge to party. I ain't going over there. I know people that never came over to this side.
Yeah, it's different.
There's shit going on over there.
Yeah,
it's a
and
little
like
different.
fun fact,
Just wanted
like
to show them some love.
Fun fact, because my parents, when I first went to Miami too, I was always like searching up spots because like I do like to eat. Like I like a crab boil, I like some wings or whatever. I was trying to go to different parts of Miami. My parents used to yell at me because they were looking at my location. They were like, "Why are you not in Coral Gables?" And I was like, "Because I went to go get a plate." And they're like, "You don't need to be over there in Coconut Creek." I'm like, "Why not? I want a plate." So I was where I was supposed to be, but that didn't mean that I didn't go places. So yeah, shout out to Miami.
Yeah, shout out to Miami. Stop, but just for the record, you didn't live in Miami because it wasn't on your license.
That's debatable. I will let the comments tell us what they think about that because I think that's very debatable.
And you didn't have
I lived in LA and I didn't have an LA ID, like California
you didn't have
ID.
an address, but you had an address in LA. But I'm not here to argue because in 2026, I'm not going back and forth.
Full circle. That part.
That's one of the places you ain't going.
And if y'all needed to learn anything today, that is what y'all needed to learn. But that is all the time that we have for today. Maurice, you know it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Quarter zip. I'll see you next week.
It's over. Yeah, it's over.
You gotta send me your address. I had a palm tree in my yard for the longest. I gotta send you the palm tree.
Palm tree? After the Christmas tree.
That's what I was supposed to send them for Christmas, but I don't have an address. We're speaking of addresses.
Yeah. It was good seeing y'all. Happy to see y'all. Happy to be back.
He's not going back and forth. He not.
Happy to see the good energy. Happy to see y'all smiling. Happy to be back on the show. Yeah. Ain't nothing changed with him.
Nope. Season 8 is here, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
Joe, my guy, Frank Martin, what's going on, baby? Big fight this weekend coming up Saturday, December 6th. You are fighting Bartholomew. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing? I'm ready.
I'm good. I see. Listen, you already in the state of Texas. Are you in San Antonio already?
No. I'm in Dallas. I leave tomorrow.
Okay. No, we speaking to a few fighters. They was already there, but I already knew you was in the state already, so I didn't know if you were down there already, man. Listen, we know that Bartholomew's a rough, rugged fighter. Is this somebody that you wanted to fight, or this is somebody that they put in front of you to fight?
It was a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit of both. You know, I feel like every fight, when I get fights, you know what I'm saying, it don't be no walkovers, you know what I'm saying? So I just got to be ready for whatever.
Got you. You and Ryan, y'all have the same trainer. Where's your relationship at today?
Man,
Being that, where y'all at? Because there was a lot going on back and forth.
I don't fuck with dude. You know
okay, yeah. So why is that?
Man, dude, he a funny style dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna be at 40 for too long. I'd love to go up to 147 and make that happen. You know, it's a story behind it, you know, with us training with the same trainer and all of that, you know, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm genuine, you know, if I rock with anybody, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna keep it that, you know. I feel like he went out of bounds a little bit on that end right there, you know, but everybody
what
different.
What did he do? You know, explain to the audience for those that don't know, what exactly did he do to go out of bounds to fuck with y'all friendship?
It was never really a friendship. It was mutual. It was like a mutual relationship. But you know, we train at the same gym, so we stable mates. You know what I'm saying? So just naturally, when you in the gym with somebody, you gonna keep it. You know, you gonna keep it G with them in the gym. You know, like y'all stable mates. So whatever go on in the gym, whatever going on, you don't talk about it or whatever. But the Tank fight, he ended up when I fought Tank, he ended up coming out saying all kind of crazy stuff, betting against me. All that, you know what I'm saying? So I just wasn't feeling that. You know, I went supported him, went to one of his fights and all that, you know. So it was just something that ain't sit right with me.
Yeah, he was talking about maybe fighting Errol and shit. I was like, I was confused about the whole shit because I'm like, ain't everybody under the same umbrella, like you just said. But speaking of Errol, is he still your promoter?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Why didn't you fight, or maybe it's in the works or whatever the case is, Keyshawn, because I seen you approach him, and then he said he would fuck you up.
Yeah.
What's the reason that fight hasn't happened yet? Is it behind the scenes shit? Is niggas ducking each other? What's the reason that fight hasn't happened yet, or isn't being talked about again yet?
No, the business, the fight definitely can happen. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it can happen in 26,
Okay.
probably the end, the middle of 26. That's a fight that, the fans want. I'm willing to fight him. I ain't gonna cap. I'll fight anybody, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's a fight that the fans would want to see, and they still want to see that fight. So, I'm a green light. I'm go. If they offer that fight to me, it's a green light. He reached out to me before, not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? He reached out, hit me in the DM. It was cordial. He asked me about if I ain't had nothing coming up, could we possibly put something together? I'm like, shit, yeah. If I don't got nothing on the floor, we can make something happen. So
That's what
that
it's
that can
about.
happen.
That's what's up. Before the Tank fight, we see you fuck up Rivera. And then after that, he was tested positive for steroids. Did that make you be like, nigga, I'm tough? Because I fuck niggas up who on steroids. Did that build your confidence up? Like, yo, nigga was dirty too and I beat this nigga up. How'd that make you feel after you've heard that?
I ain't gonna cap. Hell no, I ain't really feel no type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I ain't find out about it until like 2 months after the fact. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? After we fought, so like I ain't really think too much about it, but in my head, like I was like, I'm a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because that's what I would be thinking. Like,
Yeah.
because if I fuck the nigga up and I'm like, all right, cool, I fuck the nigga up. Then come to find out the nigga was juicing. Oh, I'm super bad. Fucking. I'll fuck niggas up. That would be my mentality. So that's why I wanted to ask you that question. Last question, and I'll leave you with this, or you can leave us with this. What can we expect to see in this fight coming up this Saturday with you and Bartholomew?
I'm putting belt to ass. You know
Belt
what
the
I'm saying?
ass,
I'm back.
BTA.
Man, BTA, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get a fan something they ain't seen before. I got a lot to me, you know what I'm saying, as far as athleticism, strength, speed. It's just a certain style I ain't showed, as far as I was fighting a fundamental style. I'm a coachable fighter, you know what I'm saying? So I was fighting a fundamental style or whatever. But I got some tricks in my bag and I'm gonna bring them out. I'm gonna show y'all what I've been working on. I got a new trainer. We've been working, so it's gonna show a lot of my athleticism and the little tricky style I got.
Nah, that's what's up. Listen, Frank, thank you for joining the show this Saturday, December 6th. Frank Martin versus Bartholomew is going to be a goodie. It is what it is. We'll be in the building. I'll see you this weekend, bro.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Appreciate you
Love,
having me.
baby. You
Yeah,
already.
love.
Much love. All right.
Now, we gotta talk about the interview with Jason Williams. I think everyone wants to know both of y'all's thoughts. So let's take a recap.
I think the guy was capping so much. That's why we needed a recap. There was so much cap going on. I don't even know where to start.
So you saying he lied this whole interview that we just did? The whole interview's a lie.
Put the poll up right now.
Yo,
pause.
man,
Pause.
Yo, God
I'm
damn,
saying,
yo.
I'm trying to.
My bad. You right. I'm being unprofessional. My bad. We said we. My bad.
Yeah, let's be professional.
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
So since we're professional right now, we don't have to say pause, but check it out. Right. He was lying about 95 to 92%.
95? Do you think that whole interview was a lie? 95% of it? What? Give me two lies. Give me two.
Okay. The first thing, when I asked him about did the molestation go on, he never even answered it. He covered everything he did with an accomplishment. Everywhere there was brokenness, he put accomplishment there. What do you think?
Well, I want to know your second point.
And then when he said he jumped in the pool, he jumped in the pool after he shot the gun. And then he came back and said he called 911. It was just a lot. It was so many, you could just go down the list.
I will say this part though, my nigga. So the people, and no disrespect because somebody actually died or got hurt.
Right.
But he said it was almost movie like that. The person who did it his friends dragged him to him and gave him a gun and said, finish him. This is the person who did this. And you
to
his
sister.
To his sister.
And he said he couldn't do it because he's not a killer. And then in another interview with Vlad, he said that he was talking with Michael Jordan and pretty much Mike said, you're a better person than him.
Right. I just thought that was kind of dramatic. Not saying it's not true. I don't know, and especially the situations with his sister. That was pretty bad, but it looked like he had a drink. It looked like he had a drink before he came, or 3.
He smelled like wine coolers.
My man's ready to pop a nigga too if need be. You see that nigga on deck. You ain't gonna come up in.
Yeah, you won't run in here with that.
Nah, you ain't no accidents today, baby. We ain't doing the accident thing.
I wanted to ask you, but I couldn't get into it.
The nigga said he shot a nigga like this.
He said he did. He passed the gun.
He said he wasn't looking. He said boom, like this.
And then he got another lie. He said he passed out like 7 guns, and on the 8th gun, this the one that went off.
He did say that.
Yeah. Do you think he was capping?
I think some of the situations weren't making sense.
Like what? Which one?
So in other words,
which one?
You know why I fuck with you, Steph, baby? Because you say capping professionally. Some of the situations seem like they weren't making sense. In other words, he was capping. Okay, what situation didn't make sense in your opinion?
So there's a couple things. One, when he said that he immediately jumped in the pool and he was talking about why he did it, I didn't think that made sense. Also, when he was talking about—
But not to cut you off, because I like that point.
Yeah.
Because how you immediately jump in the pool if it's 100 yards away?
Yeah, that
and
didn't
how
make
did you
sense.
call 911 and jump in the pool? Which one, champ?
And he said he didn't remember that, but you don't remember running 100 yards jumping in an indoor pool?
And y'all asked, you guys said in court, so you just forgot certain stuff. And he's like, well, I didn't forget it, but like that didn't really make sense.
But that's what trauma does to you. That's another thing he was capping about. The trauma makes you remember only certain things. Come on, we from the trauma capital of the world.
It's a fact. What else? I want to hear more of your opinions.
So I do have to add another part that he did say with the whole St. John's things. Yeah. He touched on it, but he didn't finish his explanation when he said that his daughter spoke up against his honor.
That was another one.
He didn't go back to it.
If you raised your kids.
Because I want to know what y'all are talking about.
Right. So basically, he was being honored by St. John's, and his daughters actually came out and said that he doesn't need to be honored because growing up, he never took care of us. They wrote a letter, and it was in print. And for those who are watching, like that did happen. You can search it up.
Yeah.
He touched on it, stopped. And
then he went into
it, but he went into something else and went into his accomplishments and his training facility.
Accomplishments.
So I did, I kept let him continue, but there were some things that was like.
Did you catch anything else?
I mean, obviously there is the Michael Jordan part as well, and then
what part about Michael Jordan?
That was super cap.
Basically, he was saying he credited him.
Killer, that was super cap.
I mean, obviously, I don't know Michael Jordan, but I could not see him going and saying that real quick, whispering in the ear, and then going to play the game. Like, that didn't really make sense. I don't really see that coming from him.
He said Mike walked up to him the first time he ever met him and said, "You're going to have a great career."
Yeah.
As a rookie.
I could not see that. And I feel like if he said that.
That's like, first of all, I'm going to keep it 100. We never hear Mike giving nobody no motherfucking props.
Mike Scotty's still waiting on his credit.
Yeah, he disses everybody.
And then Mike said that from a rookie. That was great.
What else you catch?
So my last thing was just like the fights off the court. He was elaborating a little bit on that. You did ask him to touch up on it. He gave you the story of Larry Bird and other people, but he didn't really get into it.
He's a spin king.
He's spin king.
He's a spin king. When you start asking about one thing, he spin his way out and start talking about other shit.
And Look, what else he said
I thought the story was sincere, man. I appreciate you coming through. Murder and Stack got other opinions, man. I'm going to keep it 100. To drag the niggas to your brother, I'm not saying that happened. It was a little traumatic.
But I will add, and no disrespect to him. We really appreciate you coming out on the show.
Thank you so much.
And speaking out with us, definitely heard your story and wanted to hear what you had to say. But, people are going to say a little bit of things. We felt some type of way about some type of things. We're not saying that what you said isn't true. We've got to clarify that. We're not saying that what he said was not true.
Mase said shit ain't true.
Mace did say it. Mace said cap. Mace said cap.
I said it while he was here, though, but we couldn't get into all the cap that he was doing because he was capping too fast.
What I think is he knows that he's going to be questioned about this.
Yeah.
This was 20 years ago, and he got that shit down packed to know how to spin off and go here, go whatever. But I think he does regret what happened.
Yeah,
I think he does. I think he really does.
For sure.
Yeah, and listen, if you're really trying to move on, you start with the truth. That's where you move on from. You're not really going to be able to move on until you address the real truth.
But this is the thing. See, let me tell you something, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. Yeah. I'm not supporting what he did, but when niggas panic, you like, oh, I shot a nigga. Yo, help me do this. Help me do that. So your brain is just all over the place if you're not that type of nigga. So I'm not supporting what he did, but I get that the nigga panicked and tried to do all that. But elaborating what you just said.
Yeah. When you come back to us, tell us the truth.
Yeah, but no. What I'm about to tell you is absolutely right. But what I was saying is, it started a lie.
Yeah.
The whole shit. Once it started a lie.
The lie mobile.
And
he was going downhill in the lie mobile.
My nigga.
And the speed just got faster.
Yeah, like, you know, the shit. After he shot the guy, the very first thing was start planning the lie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So from there, man, it's your choice.
Benoit did him dirty.
No, but on some G shit.
Yeah.
Do you believe he seen Benjamin Benoit last week?
Now we got to have him up here to tell his side.
Yeah, let's find Benjamin Benoit. Reach out to us and let us know if you tried to leave with Jay Will last week when you seen him. Or if you seen him. But real talk, yo, it takes a lot of courage to come up here because we ain't gonna hold no shots or pull no punches. So Jay Will, much respect. Pardon me, Jason Williams, because Jay Will is, he changed his name to Jay Will. So Jason Williams, we appreciate you.
Of course. And again, Jason, we do appreciate you. Although we have our thoughts, we don't want to take away from the main message. There are a lot of mental health issues, especially in the Black community. There's no joke there. So if you need resources or need help, please reach out. And also, we want to know you guys' thoughts on social media. So make sure to go on Twitter, Instagram, #ItIsWhatItIs, and share your thoughts. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next episode. Welcome back. Okay, so let's really talk about it. The NFL only has 3 Black head coaches. There is the Rooney Rule, which requires all NFL teams to interview a minority applicant. But how do we get more Black coaches in pro sports?
First, who are the 3 you're talking about?
Okay, you got Mike Tomlin, Mike McDaniel, and Todd.
All right, all of them black?
I mean, one of them's multiracial. You got McDaniel for the Dolphins.
That don't count. So we got... Technically, probably 2.
Is he a nigga?
Would he say he is? Probably not. He wouldn't.
Then we got 2,
he wouldn't
right?
Say it. He wouldn't say it.
For the barbershop, we got 2.
Got 2.
Okay. How do we feel about that?
Yeah.
It depends on what will bring more quarterbacks. I think people got to stop. More coaches, they got to stop hiring their friends. What do you think? We can go back and forth about this.
Listen, it's no fucking Black owners. You all right? Let's start there.
Yeah.
Niggas ain't got them billions. That football money is generational. And they're gonna keep the money in the family or people that they know. When you say hire their friends and all that, that's what the white coaches is doing. Yeah. They hiring their friends and their family and their coaches. Look at Jerry.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what make more coaches.
Yeah, and look at Jerry out there in Jerry's world. His son is one of the coaches on the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So even Andy Reid, he had his son coaching on the Kansas City Chiefs too. So that's what they do. It's just that when, a Black coach does it and hires their friends, they hire niggas with no experience. Where white niggas are hiring niggas with their friends with experience. Black nigga hiring their uncle who never played or seen football ever in their damn life. Like, yo, got a job for you, nigga. Just show up.
Tired of you asking me for money.
Yeah.
Come coach the Dolphins with me.
Exactly. Like, it's a great example, and we've been trying to get to this topic for a while.
We love you, Dolphins.
Yeah,
and the coach.
Yeah, that was just an example.
Yeah.
And you know what? We've been trying to talk about this topic, and this is a great example on our way to talk about this topic. Is that for years, Patrick Ewing was part of the Charlotte Hornets coaching staff. Michael Jordan owns,
the Bobcats. The Hornets.
Yeah, the Hornets.
They
Charlotte
keep
Hornets.
it whatever team.
Right, but Michael Jordan owns the Charlotte Hornets. He hiring Patrick Ewing because that's his man.
Yeah.
Because they play ball together. Does that mean that Pat's really good coach? So now what happens? Charlotte still ain't shit to this day because you're hiring bad people and your friends. Just because they're your friends, they don't know how to coach. Now what happens? Patrick Ewing, pardon me, he get the job at Georgetown because he got NBA experience and he used to go to Georgetown. So niggas is like, yo, if we get Pat, maybe we turn the university around because he already got the NBA experience. He got the NBA experience. He used to be his alma mater. Yeah, let's get in there. Pat, they just fired Pat ass.
Yep.
Pat is 1-97 at Georgetown.
My goodness,
I think Pat deadass won 6 games.
Yeah,
like
maybe 7. He led them to a losing record. So
no, that's ridiculous. 7 games. They had to get rid of Pat. You know how fucked up that is to like fire the fucking
nigga
one
who jersey is in
the Raptors.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Just because you know how to play basketball, that don't mean you know how to coach. And y'all niggas who get these jobs, that don't mean hire your friends just because they're your friends. Hire somebody with some experience so you could keep your job.
Makes sense.
With that being said, we'll be right back.